there, YouTube! So a while ago, Ariel Bisett made this video about like reading being competitive, and she had a lot of like really good thoughts about like competitive reading and like the culture of like reading on BookTube. And I don't have any new thoughts about that, so just like go and watch her video because like it's great. It's long, but it's like great because like Ariel is so smart and amazing, so like yeah. But these are just kind of like some thoughts that I had about myself and like my own reading habits that were sort of like inspired by her video. So in Ariel's video, she talked a lot about like competitive reading and how like people rush to meet a certain reading goal at the end of the year, and they're just like scrambling to meet this goal, and then they feel bad that they haven't read as many books as other people and on BookTube, and just like things kind of related to that. And I was like, yes. I feel those things. I think it's definitely because I am on BookTube that I am feeling those things. Like for example, so the past 2 years I have set my Goodreads reading goal to 50 books in the year, and I have not made that goal anywhere close to it for the past 2 years. Last year I think I read like somewhere around 36, 38 books. I have not bothered to remember the actual number. And then the year before that I only read like 30 books. And I felt really bad at the end of both years being like, oh, I failed. I didn't read as many books as I wanted to. Like, even like the other day, I mentioned that I read like 36 books and people are like, what? That's so many books. They're like, I don't know how you can read that many books in a year. And I mean, my answer is like, well, I just like reading. So people like outside of BookTube think that like that many books is like amazing, and just like how can you read that much? That's like so great. Like, tell me what to read. You must read like a ton. And then like there are people on BookTube who like they read like 100+ books a year, and I'm just like, how do you do that? I definitely think I have like a willpower issue or something like that, where I get into like reading slumps for a long time. I'll read a lot of books, or I'll like read a really good book and then just like I can't read anything after that because probably it's just like I can't remember what it's called, but it's kind of like that feeling when you read a really good book and then you're just like, nothing is going to compare to this book, so why read anything else? I kind of fall into that a lot. And just I think sometimes I read like a lot of books at one time, especially like after a readathon or something like that, and then I like lose interest in reading for a while, and then I'll read anything for a month. And like even this year so far, it's like not, January isn't even over, and I am like panicking already because I'm not going to be like on track for a reading goal this year. I've read one book this year and it's a manga, which like that doesn't matter. And like I'm 50 pages into another book. Like I feel bad because there are like people who have already read like 5 books this month, and I'm just like, I'm so far behind. Like I can't compete with that. I think about Ariel's video a lot and like how I like really shouldn't be having those feelings because like reading is like a personal thing for me. I just decide to share what I have been reading and what I have been doing with the internet. So I feel like there's like a few things that I want to like remember or remind myself of to kind of keep these feelings in check. Number one is I am going to set a reading goal. Like I want to set a reading goal. I feel like I'm the type of person who really needs a goal to work towards, or else they won't finish anything. I need like a deadline or like a goal or something I need to achieve, or I'm just like not gonna do anything. I'm just gonna like lose interest in it and just like not do it. Somebody or something has to keep me accountable, and I have to like be able to check like that thing, or have somebody remind me of that thing before, so I can like work on it. This year I'm not setting my reading goal to 50 because I realized that is not my reading ability. I'm gonna set my reading goal to 30 books. 30 books is less than what I read last year and the year before. And really, I just want to be reading the same amount of books. Everyone makes that goal, be like, oh, I want to read more. Be like, no, I just want to like consume the same amount of like stories that I did last year. I feel like for like the type of person that I am who like needs some sort of like goal or deadline to like actually do something, then like reading just as much as you did last year is just like good enough. If I read more than that, then great, amazing, you have done well. And if I read less than that, then like that's fine. Like I am not gonna beat myself up about it. I am not gonna like scramble to try to read other things, hopefully, at the end of the year, just because like I don't know what this year is gonna bring. At the end of last year, I had some things happen where I had to like completely revamp my schedule and like what my life revolves around, and so I couldn't scramble to read all of those books at the end of the year. Like it just wasn't gonna happen. So you never know what's gonna happen in your life. So if you can just try to read like the same amount that you did last year, then that's great. And if you didn't, like, you probably did something like else that year that was just as valuable. And number 2 is that I want to reread stuff. And I think Ariel brought this up in her video where like people say that like rereading doesn't count or something like that. And I have never felt that way because I don't know about you, but I'm the type of person who like forgets books. I remember the feelings and the emotions that I had for those books, but I don't remember the exact plot. There are books from my childhood that I absolutely loved, but I can't remember. I can't tell you like what the plot was. I can tell you like vaguely what the story was about, but I don't remember specific story elements from it. I think it's also like a fun experiment to go back and read those books that you like read as a kid and see if you have the same sort of like opinions or feelings on them, or to see how those feelings have like changed or developed, or what new layers you can see to these stories as an adult or an older person than when you read them initially. And then finally, the most important part of this whole thing is to make sure that I'm enjoying what I'm reading. I think I made a video about like DNFing books like last year or maybe the year before. I can't remember. I don't know what time it is anymore. But I don't want to waste my time on books that I don't like. So if I'm not liking something, then I'm just gonna stop. And there are so many books over there on my bookshelf that I have been so excited to read, or I feel like I'm gonna really like, or I'm just like super intrigued about it, but I just haven't gotten to them because of one thing or another, and I really want to focus on reading those books. They're books that I want to read, and like books that I think I'm gonna enjoy. So like I need to read those books. But I also want to like keep that in mind that I need to be enjoying the things that I'm reading. I'm not just gonna finish stuff because I need to finish it, or if it like I'm not having fun with it, I just need to finish it because I need to add another book to my reading goal. I want the books that I read this year to be, I want the 30 books that I read this year to be quality books. They don't have to all be 5-star books. I want to take something away from all of these books. I don't want to just read a book because I have to read a book. I want to actually take something away from the experience of reading this book. But if it's a terrible book and for some reason I want to finish it, then like I want to be able to give a concrete reason of why I finished that, and not just I needed to finish a book for my reading goal. I want to just read things to make a goal. I want to read things because I like them and enjoy them, or I'm learning something from them. Those are my thoughts on like competitive reading and like setting reading goals and like my reasons for it. In the comments if you have a reading goal this year and why you set that goal, or if you don't have a reading goal, let me know why you don't have a reading goal. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more bookish and nerdy content from me. That's all I've got for you guys today. I'm Priscilla. Till next time, matane!